truth uncensored. My whole network viral. 12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. I like my truth uncensored. My whole network.
Jump right into this right here. I want to start off with the NBA Youngboy situation that went down yesterday. Now, fortunately, he did make his performance, on the stage yesterday. It's a video y'all can see right there, him making it. That was after, we reported that he and his entourage, were pretty much the victims of gunfire being aimed towards them. Now, there were a few reports that came out that maybe his girlfriend, K. Marie, may have been struck. I'm not sure if that's been, verified yet, but there is a video from a news station down there in Florida that has a little bit more information about what they think happened down there. So I want to play that clip, Sam, man, and then we're going to talk about this, man.
Resort, that's where we find Sinella Sabove.
That's right. She has details on the man that was shot and also the woman as well, Sinella.
Well, Alex and Andrew, we have 3 very active scenes, 1 in Aventura and 2 here in Sunny Isles. We've learned that a man was shot and killed inside of a vehicle. That is where we are at right now. This is inside of a strip mall along Collins Avenue. I do want to get you to some video because witnesses tell us that this all began outside of the Trump International Beach Resort along, again, 180th Street and Collins Avenue, that there was some sort of altercation that took place between 2 rappers who were actually set to perform at the Rolling Loud Festival this evening. We've learned the altercation was between the entourages of NBA Youngboy and T Grizzly. Witnesses say they heard some.
We've been with a deadly shooting in Sunny Isles Beach right outside
of Miami, a local news station down there, saying that's kind of new because we didn't know that, beforehand. But just, a wild week down there in Miami, man. A whole bunch of shootings. Somebody got injured. Somebody got killed, arrested. It just seems like a real war zone down there. Sam, man, what do you think about this situation? NBA Youngboy going down there and Rolling Loud concert.
We've been talking about this young brother often on the podcast throughout our year and a half, some change doing this podcast, and none of it's been good, unfortunately. We haven't been really able to be talking about any music, anything he's doing out here. It's often about him in a negative light, and we always end the conversation when it comes to NBA Youngboy like, yo, he has to be careful. The energy that he brings on, it's only going to lead him 1 or 2 places. It's already out there known. You're a great rapper from Louisiana. You're out here doing your thing. The young people love you.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. And it just seems like the energy that he keeps bringing on is negative. Like, we were thinking, like, how would this situation even come about? That them 2 even have beef? You got 1 from Louisiana, 1 from Detroit. Did they have anything that we knew about? Who knows? I mean, we're not directly involved with either one of the 2 young brothers, even though we appreciate their music. We're not sitting there bumping their stuff every day. But if anybody knows, I mean, let us know. Didn't seem like it was anything on the outset. This could have been just a mere bumping into each other, words being exchanged. Now you got random gunfire. Add a place in a situation where we're going to be talking about often, because a lot of these news stories have broke and Rolling Loud. We're going to have to get into that too.
Yeah. It's been a whole lot, and again, we don't really know what went down. We do know that somebody was killed and somebody else, was shot down there. But when I heard this, I'm like, man, like, what's next down there? Like, because it seems like, and we were saying that even before this concert popped off. We were like, yo, Miami, like Georgia, it seems like they just down there, it's like the wild, wild west. Everybody talks about Chicago and all that. And yeah, stuff happens there. But like Miami, it seems like, I guess it's kind of, the I know what it is. Obviously, it's, it's the balance, I guess, the rich and the poor, to have and the have nots, you know what I mean? And a lot of, people down there in the area that come together, like you said, that may not necessarily be, because you got people come from all over, and rappers and entertainers and people talk slick. They see each other. Guys got security. Guys got guns. Next thing you know, people start talking slick. Things happen. You know what I mean? It's sad, but we know it. Like in Miami, you better be armed in Miami, because you see a lot of people, being shot and killed, especially rappers in Miami. It's sad, man.
Well, let's talk about this, because this extended outside of the camps, outside of the situation. You got innocent bystanders now being killed in the street from a situation they had no involvement, no business in. This man could have been going to a store for his wife, could have been doing anything, just a random day. and he runs into a situation where he loses his life over something he has no idea about, bullets just spraying over what. And they're not going to play it soon. And we've seen just over and over countless amount of incidents that Rolling Loud brought. We're going to talk about Lil Wayne. We're going to talk about Kodak. We're going to talk about all these other incidents that we don't even know about. If they don't get a good stronghold on this, we may never see this again, because the community and the city's not going to want to keep putting the money out for this or taking this on if they're going to bring this kind of nonsense. And it sucks to say, because it seems like a great event. Like you were saying, everybody's out there. Everybody was out there. Now, whether they were in and out, whether they were just doing anything and getting the fuck up out of there, whether they were enjoying the event, it could blossom into something great. But these negative black eyes that continue to come out, and the more we're going to talk about, it doesn't look good for it.
Right. And especially, like you said, NBA Youngboy. And it seems like you got just certain rappers who it seems like this type of energy follows them no matter where they're going, where they're at. There's always something, you know, this, that. And I get it, man. I mean, imagine, you know, having millions of dollars and being famous, you know, at 20, you know, 21, or some guys even younger, and just, you know, having control over your destiny and what you're going to do and how you party and stuff. You'll be doing some crazy stuff too, obviously. But, you know, when it comes to the point where now your life is at risk or your freedom is at risk, now you got to say, okay, let's take a step back, because we can still have fun. We can do all the stuff that we want to do without shooting or without getting shot. You know what I'm saying? We can still have fun. So they got to find a way, you know what I'm saying? Obviously have your security and whatnot. You know, somebody wants to come at you, you got to put them down and whatnot. I mean, just, it is what it is, but just learn how to kind of stay out the system. Because as we know with the Kodak Black situation, the feds is on them. They're on them. You know, they made no bones, no secret about it. I heard that he was even informed that, look, they're watching you, every move you make. So he's not the only one. They're watching everybody. And that's their job, is to find what they call crime, you know what I mean, and take you down. And they will never hesitate to take a big Kodak Black or anybody. That's a notch on their belt. No. The feds come in, or this person who was the leading officer or agent to take this person down. That's a notch on their belt for them to get a raise. So if you keep giving it to them, you know what I mean, stuff on internet and everything like that, they're gonna keep taking it.
You got, I mean, an ego. When you look at all these brothers, and we will talk about all of them, ego is a terrible factor in all of this. And ego is leading you one or two places, either leading you in a box locked away forever, or it's leading you a box 6 feet under, because you just can't let shit go or just be a bigger man in a situation. Right. We don't know what happened in there, but if one of them two would have just went, you know what, whatever, and let it walk away, you don't look at a man losing his life, a girl possibly being shot, and the NBA Youngboy maybe going to jail for this shit because they took him for this. Somebody's going to have to account for that body that was lost. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you're talking about, like, even, you know what they're saying, and now it's leading to more rappers, more entertainers now be put into that spotlight under the scrutiny of what happened. So exactly. Now it's a crazy, you know, situation, man, to say the least. All we can hope is that we get some guidance out of this. The family can get some kind of justification. The family that lost their loved one's life. And man, we say this every time and start to get cliche, and we don't know, maybe something bad's going to happen. But we just hope NBA Youngboy and even T Grizzly, even though we don't know what happened, can kind of just learn from this and don't allow this to interfere with blossoming careers. And I'm sure you guys, they're both fathers. I don't know if T Grizzly's a father, but I know NBA Youngboy is. Don't let that ruin your life, man. This ego shit, let it go. Right. Definitely. I mean, you got to stand up as a man and do what you have to do. I'm not saying don't let anybody walk over you, but certain things, you know, you could just brush the fuck off, and the millions of dollars and the followers and all this shit really doesn't matter in that time. Mm-hmm. Just let it go for the better day. Yeah, I'm sure more, you know, information will be available. You know, as soon as it is, we'll definitely be sharing it, you know, with the people. Those are the ones you kind of really don't want to talk about, but they always seem like they always available. Those type of crazy stories. Somebody gets shot, you know what I mean, or shot at. Well, in that area, the transition to the Kodak Black situation, this was kind of surprising to me, because when I heard, I'm like, this dude's done. We found out a few days ago that Kodak Black, you know, was pretty much arrested. Now, a news story just came out, you know, via the Blast, pretty much saying that Kodak Black was indicted by the grand jury for trying to illegally purchase firearms, and he's facing 10 years in prison. Now, Kodak Black was hit with a 2-count indictment after a grand jury found he made false statements to try to purchase firearms. Now, according to the court documents obtained by the Blast, Kodak Black, you know, is charged with making a false statement in the acquisition and attempted acquisition of a firearm. Now, it goes on to say that Kodak pretty much lied about
saying that he wasn't facing any serious criminal charges when he went to purchase the gun. And he also lied about him not being a felon when he went in to buy the gun. So he wasn't supposed to do that. So as a result of that, he's facing 10 years now. There was also a story that came out the other day that said Kodak Black was pretty much being made aware that the authorities were actually watching him. And by authorities, I mean the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco, the FBI, U.S. Marshals were pretty much watching him and had an extensive investigation, as they say. So which means that you asked me when this happened. It could have happened 2, 3, 4 months ago. But since his activities were under scrutiny, they were looking for anything they could get to bring Kodak Black down. Now, tie that up with the case, the sexual assault case that's still pending for him. Mm-hmm. Tie it up with him going to trying to enter Canada with loaded weapons. Tied up with this, it appears at least from the outset that Kodak Black may be facing some real serious prison time. Not maybe, but is facing some real serious prison time with this breaking story right here. Sam, man, what do you think about? I know that was a mouthful, but Kodak Black. This new story about him as well as the other stuff that he's facing.
You said it was a mouthful, but all you did was report on Kodak Black, and it was crazy because when I seen him get hemmed up at Rolling Loud, I was like, damn, are they just messing with him? Why they didn't just keep him at the Canadian border? Why didn't they keep him when they arrested him before going here or there? Why did they keep messing with him? And then you find out, no, they're not messing with him. It happened to be something else that Kodak Black did. And we've defended him on here. We've gotten on him on here. But all in all, I think the general premise is we want him to do better. We want him to succeed like we do everybody that we talk about on this platform. Right. But it comes a point, and you said it prior to us even finding this out, that brother's probably looking at a dime with all the shit he got going on, and then lo and behold, facing 10 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at the feds, this is what, now twice or 3 times they came on him.
Yeah.
They're going to get him. We already know, we see what's going on with other rappers dealing with feds and their cases and things like that. They're going to get their guy. They're going to get what they want.